I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Joining me now is senior wealth reporter John Hyatt. John, thanks so much for joining me.
Always good to see you, Brittany.
GOP presidential contender Vivek Ramaswamy went from a relatively unknown candidate to part of the national conversation really overnight, starting in that August debate. So to kick things off, can you tell us who is Vivek Ramaswamy?
Vivek Ramaswamy is a businessman. He made his fortune first in hedge fund investing and then by starting a biotech company called Roivant Sciences. That's ROI Vant Sciences. And, Vivek is somebody who is always thinking about ROI, whether it's in business, whether it's in politics, whether it's in the friendships he pursues. And his obsession with getting his own personal return on investment and maximizing that has driven him to the billionaire ranks. He became a billionaire a few months ago when Roivant's stock was at its peak. It's since dipped a little bit, but he still boasts a very impressive $930 million net worth as of yesterday's market close. And, he also owns a Strive Asset Management. They're an investment firm that he founded just before entering the presidential race. So, he's somebody with his hands in multiple hats, so to say. He's got his biotech empire. He's got his Strive Asset Management firm, which sells ETFs to retail investors and boasts an anti-woke ideology. And now he's entered politics, and he's done a very interesting job of sort of marrying those interests.
Before we kick things off and discuss his obsession with the return on investment, he has some Midwestern roots. Can you explain where he's from and the importance of that?
Vivek grew up outside of Cincinnati. He's a first-generation son of two parents who left India to pursue a better life in the United States. He went to an elite Catholic boys' school where he graduated as valedictorian, and from there he got accepted into Harvard, and he's been on the rise ever since.
You mentioned that he has this sort of anti-woke ideology. What was the catalyst to really propel Vivek Ramaswamy to run for president, and what are some of those main issues that he's really championing?
It's a good question. Why is he running for president? This is a millennial finance guy who has no political experience. He didn't vote in numerous presidential elections during his 20s. So, I think we can trace Vivek's sort of political awakening back to 2020. He's always been, conservative, and, at Harvard, he, was affiliated with the Republican Club there. When he was at Yale Law School, he made friends with people like future U.S. Senator J.D. Vance, who was a classmate of his. He met Peter Thiel at Yale. So he's always been somebody who's, been conservative and right-leaning. But in 2020, there was, of course, we all know 2020. It was, early COVID. There were protests after the murder of George Floyd. Black Lives Matter was front and center. And Vivek was faced by employees at Roivant who wanted him to speak out on behalf of the Black Lives Matter protests, and Vivek didn't want to do that. And that was sort of his first tussling with political issues, was in the business context. So, flash forward a year or so, he's been writing op-eds for the Wall Street Journal. He's appearing in Fox News. He steps down from Roivant as CEO to focus on this stuff full time. And he writes his first book, Woke Inc., becomes a New York Times bestseller. All of a sudden, he's kind of, as the New Yorker christened him, the godfather of anti-wokeism. And so, from there, he founded Strive Asset Management. He found a way to monetize the anti-woke gospel that he's preaching. And by running for president, he's essentially found a new platform or a new way for him to get his message out there and to build his own profile and to build the profile of Strive as well.